Hello folks, and welcome back to another episode of Stellaris and the new, or I guess not so new now, Overlord DLC. And we are the Union of the Deep, and in this episode we'll be looking at solving our resource issues and dealing with this event that never seems to work. Talk about those two things. So first, between episodes, I've gone through all of my worlds and I've prioritized the angler position here. So that should give us more food going forward. There are a few worlds that didn't have anglers that probably should have, and that should probably solve our food issue we'll see quite shortly. Our energies issue, credit issue here, is decreasing. So I think we're at a manageable point with only negative 16 here, and I think with some more upgrades as these systems come online, will help with that. We really need to get some more mineral production going. There's being a big drain here, probably because of all the alloys we're creating and consumer goods. But that's not quite as such an issue as this food issue is. Especially since we still have an ongoing food crisis. So this food crisis happened because I didn't pay attention in a previous episode when this got down to 0, and it ticked a month over at 0, which now in the new version of these events, it gives you a mini crisis, I would call it. An event where you need to deal with an issue before this ticks up to the maximum, or you get some really bad negative effects. So, if I do invest in... oh, I don't think I need to do that, so I won't bother with that. So it gives you a couple of options here. So when you have the crisis going on, this bar will slowly fill up as long as you have a negative, like below 0 amount per month. And if you have an above 0 amount per month, it will slowly tick down the progress bar here. If it's 100%, then you'll hit the major crisis point. And as you go along, you see things get worse. Biologicals get less happy, there's much reduced growth, and organic pop assembly speed is reduced. But you can also pick one of these two things at the bottom to help you along. I don't really need it because I think I can make up the difference by just adding some more anglers, and I might add some more farming districts on worlds once I get a few more minerals to try and make up that difference as well. I don't really need this, but if I chose to, I can invest in farmers and anglers to give the food and food from farmers and anglers an extra 0.5 per worker. Which would probably boost me up to what I need, or pretty close, but it costs us more money. I would do this if we had a big surplus of money, but we do not, so I'm not going to bother doing that. So that settles that. Hopefully that works ourselves out. We'll see at the end of the month once I unpause. But the other thing I wanted to talk about, yeah, so you can see the critical resource storage right now is giving us a negative 10 to pop happiness, a negative 20 to pop growth, and a negative plus 20 to pop assembly speed. So pops are slower to grow, and they are more unhappy. I can get rid of that because I know that's going to go away. Yes, food 6 months. Thank you very much. This annoying thing keeps popping up. This Lycian species, I cannot find the Lycian species in any of the species. If I go over here and I look at all the galaxy species, they're organized by name. I'll even do this to make sure they are organized by name. And you go down to L, where Lycian should be, or Lycian. If I remember my alphabet here, L should be right here. There's only one L, this Lagan Choose race, which is not the race. So I have no idea what this race is that they're trying to talk about here is. And it says in our empire at the top, there are species with unspent trait points in our empire at the top. So this is the whole galaxy, so I changed that to just empire. You can see the species that I have here. If you go through all of these, as I did before I started recording, they all have 0 species points, which are these points over here, trait points. Or less than 0 if they gain some traits along the way through an event or whatever that puts them at a negative, because they don't have a negative trait to offset it. So I don't know what the heck this is talking about, because all these species here are not deletions. You can see there's no L at all. and none of them have any trait points to deal with, so I don't know what it's talking about. So I'm just going to ignore this, but it pops up every time I reload the game, which is a bit annoying. I don't need the relics. So the other thing we want to talk about is this event called Flocks of the Cloud. So what happened in a previous episode, in fact quite many episodes ago now, an event occurred. And it's a Federation-wide event. When you're in a Federation, you have a chance of this event occurring. And I've seen it pop up a few times and had similar problems. I think once I've managed to get it to work. So the event here says, brightly colored tendrils of cloud have gathered around the starbase in our capital system. Our allies report similar effects in their capitals. What is causing this phenomena? And the idea is that you are supposed to do a research project, which I did. You can see the question mark here, or the check mark, not question mark, here, that I've completed it. And all your allies in a Federation are supposed to complete it. But what happens is your Federation allies don't. Or they don't do it in time, because this is a timeout event for them. And I think what happens, and what I've read on some forums online about this, is that your allies, the AI for your allies, sticks it into a queue for one of their science ships. But if that science ship has a bunch of stuff in their queue, or is very far away from the event for the one that they pick, they are unlikely to be able to complete it by the end of the timing counter. And so when I tagged over, because you can tag over to other empires in Stellaris if you want to without breaking the game. So I tagged over to my Federation partner to see if I could sort of nudge them to complete this. And I noticed that it had been completely timed out, and there's no way for me to activate it. So I think this event will be permanently stuck in my situation log here, unable to be completed, which is quite annoying. This has been a bug for a while now. I saw forum posts going back all the way to 2020. And Paradox is certainly aware of it, but I'm not sure why they haven't fixed this particular one yet. So we'll just ignore this one, call it a failed event, and move on. Now that said, we have this Mysteries of the Universe thing with a planet of interest. This is also something that I think is perhaps not bugged, but I don't want to track it, I just want to go to it. But it's this enigmatic fortress here. Enigmatic fortress, there you go. It's a little bit of a hard word to say. Which I got from talking to the curators about the Mysteries of the Universe. And they said, oh hey, go to this system. Let's check it out, see what's going on here. And of course sending my science ship to its ultimate death, because this thing just blows up anything that comes into the system. And this is kind of a cool event chain when you go and do it, but I've been here, I know what's here. It says right on the thing, this is the enigmatic fortress. I don't need to go see what the mysteries of the universe are. This point of interest should probably disappear, but it hasn't. It may disappear when I finish this event chain, but my fleets are not quite strong enough to deal with that now. So that's just going to sit in my situation log as well. It'd be quite annoying. Now the L cluster I talked about in a previous episode, we're going to hold off until I get to slightly stronger fleet strength, so I can deal with, oh those aren't the fleets, sorry. The fleets are here, to deal with the possibility of the Great Tempest popping out, which is one of the events you can get in the L cluster, which the L gates lead to. So once I get maybe 2 stacks of 15, I'll think I'm strong enough to probably open it, and I will. Right now the ships are going to upgrade, and I'm going to fill out their caps here with battleships, because we unlocked the battleships in the previous episode recently. We redesigned our battleships to be carriers, and redesign some of our smaller ships to be missile boats, which we need to research the missile tech for sure, because I think we only have level 1 at the moment. And once that's all done, then we might be strong enough to open the L gate. But right now, no other empire has decided to try and open the L gate, so we can just sit and wait. I should check, and I will in a second, to make sure I have some star bases around the L gates to make sure they are protected. I'm not sure how many L gates I have. I think I only have the 1 in my systems, but in case there's 2, we'll do that. And then we have these archaeological sites. I think we're already doing the moon base one. This frozen complex one is outside of our system. It's way on the other side of the galaxy, so that's just going to sit there forever. And that covers everything in the situation log. So what do we do now? Well, first we'll just check out the L gate thing. So the L gates in our systems, this requires me to squint at the screen and try and see where these things are. Sometimes they're a little hard to notice. I don't have one here. Oh, goodness. Goodness, I should have looked at this before I started recording. So this is a Shroud tunnel. So the L-gate looks like this, except for it's got more lines in the middle. The Shroud tunnel, by the way, in case you're new to the series, is the special transportation device you get as being the origin of my species, which is the Teachers of the Shroud. You get the Shroud beacon, which you stick in a starbase in whatever system you want. I stuck it in my home system, and it creates a Shroud tunnel between that system and one system with the Enclave, or whatever they're called again, of the Shroud people, the Psionic Order of the Shroud. Yeah, these guys. Where's that L-gate? I know I have one. Do I know I have one, or am I crazy? It is possible I'm just crazy and I don't have an L-gate. Anyhow, I'm sure it'll pop up as we're zooming around the map, continuing the game. So let's just move forward. We'll go on fastest speed, because the game, as you can see, is chugging kind of slow right now, as Stellaris does when it gets a little beefier. I'm going to lock all these things. I don't need to see the holdings for the moment. The shipyards I'll keep open. Everything else seems okay. I don't need the factions open. There we go. They would like a migration treaty with me. I do not want a migration treaty at the moment. I'm trying to stabilize my empire here. Before I do anything with anything, I'm going to see at the end of the month if this fixes my food situation. Let's just hold out for that. It did not. It did bring it down a bunch, but it did not. So let's pop into... First, let's check out some star bases. Maybe I can build some hydroponic bays. I can, so let's do that. That gives me 10. Hydroponic bays are not a good investment for your outposts, but right now, desperate times call for desperate measures. So we'll do that, and because they cost me alloys to build, it's a good way to use up some alloys to fill in a gap. So that'll give me 30, so I'll bring it down to 60. And then let's take a look at some systems here, and we'll try and get some systems that are already producing anglers. Here we go. And build out some more agricultural districts. There's one there. These cost how much? These cost 200. Okay, so I can build 2 more of them. You have some jobs. Sure, let's build there. You might be a good planet to do it as well. You're an industrial world. I thought I had a rural world here. Yeah, you'd be a good one too. So let's oh, this is 225. Interesting. Let's just buy a little bit more alloys so I can do that. That was Paulina, maybe? I don't remember. We'll pop through this again. This rural world, here we go, rural world. Give me that, because the rural world, when you hear, gives me agricultural district build speed. So this will build faster. What you really want is an agri world. Do I have any agri worlds? I mean, that might be a good thing to do. Yeah, I do have one here, and I'm building the agricultural district. So the agri world gives me more output, so that would be good to get as well. Alright, let's designate this one as an agri world, because I'm going to need it. Clearly, and they have a lot of agricultural districts. And then maybe I'll designate one more as an agricultural world. Maybe this rural world, I'll designate it as an agricultural world for now instead. And we'll get some more food processing going on. Well, that's good. So we'll hold off on that for a while. So let's take the ships, and let's work on some upgrades here. Oh, what is this? Oh, Mercenary Enclave. Yeah, we should try the Mercenary Enclave sometime. It's not really in the theme of our species, so maybe I won't. Maybe I'll save that for the next Let's Play. But you can do that. You can change your fleet into a Mercenary Enclave, and then these fleets will be up for hire by other civilizations. I think right now I'm going to keep my guys. So this is upgrading with a bunch of stuff. How much rare crystal production do I have? I have a decent amount, alright. So let's upgrade all those guys while we're at it. And that reminds me, with the rare crystals, I can probably build a few more of my transportation places. Oh yeah, let's build a starbase there. You're done. That's a crappy starbase. This one's better. Okay, let's head over here. Then maybe we'll build a starbase there. And then you're sitting here, waiting to build a starbase. I guess I can. Nope, I'm missing influence, so I cannot. Does this require influence? It does. 25 influence. Okay, we'll move over here and then we'll build some influence up here to get that hyper relay network going on so our ships can move faster through our empire. Okay, well here's the L gate. I told you I was panning around the map and I'd run into it. There it is right there. So we got to make sure this system has a starbase, and it does, so it'll be pretty good. Now we can upgrade this starbase, which I will probably do. Yeah, let's upgrade this one starbase here to make sure that it's ready to go for these guys. The starbase won't provide a ton of defense against the Great Tempest since their fleets are so large, but it will give, if I plant a fleet here or two fleets here, it'll give the fleet some support bonuses and make that fight a little easier for us. Alright, moving on. I'm only going to upgrade these fleets one at a time just to make sure that we have all the elements we need to do so. Oh, that's right, civic point. I got to save up my civic points because I finished that tech. Migration treaty, no thank you. Migration treaty, no thank you. Maybe in the future when I have some more stability in my empire, I'll go to another round of colonizing planets, and some of those species might make sense to do that once. Good, proton launchers are done. Is there another? No, I was hoping there was a another missile here. So let's take a look at what else I can do. Let's grab the shield. It's an easy one. And for the here. Leader upkeep might be good. Ore exhaustion. We don't really use that too much. Regenerative tissue might be good to pick up. Let's take up the regenerative tissue. It doesn't take too long. And I may want to put it on my ships. Now let's take a look at the ship designer. Do we want... Okay, you can't get the missiles. Can you get the bigger missile if I go here? No. No proton launcher there. A little confused. There's no G there. Where does the proton launcher come in? Now I'm really confused. Didn't I just research that tech? G. I'm very Why is there no proton launcher here? Alright, well, I mean, just ignore this for now. Move on to better tech anyhow. Then we got chips coming in.
The yellow bellies are confederating.
More confederations. Oh, that's not great. What do we got here? Those two? Well, it's alright, I guess. We got a pretty big federation now with all the vassals that we have.
We grow ever stronger.
Sorry for the silence there, just responding to my husband. Alright. Oh, the Raiders, great. Love them. My favorite. So the citizen regime has left. Alright, interesting. Don't think I can invite them to our federation, no. And nobody wants them in it anyhow. That's fine. No, alien entity identified. A tubular alien entity has entered orbit around one of our systems. And with no warning or explanation, it appears to be moving without engines or thrusters, gliding in complete silence through the void of space, cylinders rotating ominously. Though it has yet to display any signs of aggression, it refuses to acknowledge our hails. Our military advisors warn us that it may pose a considerable threat to the inhabitants below and implore us to engage neutralizing protocols. Our scientists, however, plead that we instead learn from this remarkable piece of technology. No, we should study it.
There is new information in the situation log.
There we go. It's only 5 months. Won't take us that long. Oh. We have detected swarms of creatures burrowing beneath our colony on Talassus Prime. They emerge any day now. Our scientists theorize the surface vibrations may have awakened them from some sort of subterranean slumber. Okay, mobilize soldiers and such. Let's build a stronghold here as fast as I can. And then maybe armies I will recruit a couple of assault armies and land them here as well.
The fleet has been refitted.
Perfect, this fleet is refitted. Let's do this one. Talk to the Shroud again. We'll do that in a second. Saving my... Oh, we can get rid of the cloud sag because it's just dumb. Oh, somebody broke the secret field. Do we have secret fealty with a number of empires next to us? Oh, goodness gracious. There's a lot of stuff here. Yeah, well, I need to buy some food. Let's do that. Let's check on this to make sure that we are okay. Is this the only planet? Yeah. Just want to make sure that we don't get in trouble. We'll talk to the Shroud in just a second. I just want to land this one troop on the planet to make sure we have an extra one ready to go. Super. A strong magnetic field around the Bintu Secundus has always caused problems for electronic instruments on the surface, but recently the effect of our computers has been especially notable. So far, it is unknown what has caused the flare-ups. Alright. Super, I thought we solved that issue in a previous episode, but maybe this is another planet with a magnetic issue. Entirely possible. Almost done. There we go. And then I want, where are you, troop? Here you are. To land the army here. Perfect. Alright, so let's take a look at this. The shield generator on the moon base. So this is that archaeological device event that we found. With the shielded planet and a race that had been defeated and imprisoned there. The Initiative moon base was kept operational for several centuries, but with no signs of contaminant failure, the forces were gradually scaled back. Shifting alliances and infighting between the various initiative members eventually left the base completely deserted. Automated systems were left in place to maintain the shield surrounding Party C's homeworld. They have, however, incredibly remained functional up until now. Alas, a critical power cable was severed when our archaeologists dug their way into the subterranean generating chamber. After 75,000 years of continuous operation, the shield is no more. Curious. So it changes the planet of Jesmeni 5 to a relic world, which is very cool. They're good worlds. Let's take a look at that. Excellent. Oh, we get another archaeological site here. So let's grab our science ship. We'll have them do the... Will you not do it? Here we go. Excavate site. Little finicky on the relic world. Excellent. So this relic world doesn't seem to have any traits there that we know of. It's dry climate, which I mean my species won't like, but maybe we can get there. So we could colonize this, and it's pretty colonizable by a lot of races. How is it for our race? Founder species only. 83%, not bad for us. But I think we're going to hold off until this event chain is done in case, you know, there's a dormant species here that wakes up and tries to kill us all. Entirely possible in the world of Stellaris. Alright, so let's talk to the Shroud while we're at it. The Shroud is quiet today. Oh, I don't have enough energy. Alright, so let's sell off some... I don't need all these consumer goods. Let's do that. Reach into the Shroud. One of the lower planes of the Shroud, we encounter a spirit that has ensconced itself behind some kind of powerful psionic shield. Leave, it says. You could exit the Shroud or attempt to penetrate the shield. We got a medium possibility of success. I think it sounds good. Let's give it a try. If successful, well, truly, who knows? Our telepaths, already exhausted from having ventured too deeply into the Shroud, failed to channel through the psionic strength and breach the shield. The failed attempt seems to have provoked the spirit. You are amply warned, maggots. You have tried to invade my world. I shall now bring ruin to yours. Shroud incursion. A creature of the Shroud has pierced the fabric of space and materialized in one of our systems. This vengeful avatar has amassed tremendous amounts of psionic energy and is using it to lash out on anything or anyone unfortunate enough to get in its path. It must be stopped. Well, that's what we get. Where is this? Oop, pause. It's over here, so let's grab our ships. All of them, and we'll head over here as speedily as possible.
Project done.
Oh, here we go. The enigmatic cache is done. Despite the extensive research, the enigmatic cache and its origin are still shrouded in mystery. Though it is definitely not organic in nature, it is entirely machine. It is not entirely machine either. It appears to be preoccupied mainly with gathering, storing, and encoding of data. Its surface is covered with hundreds of thousands of minuscule scratches and dents, which we have discovered traces of compound that is alien to our galaxy. Interesting. Gives me some engineering research. All right. Well, there we go. Some exciting stuff going on in this episode. So in the next episode, let's take on this Creatures of the Shroud. I'm glad it spawned in a system that doesn't have much in it. It does have a lot of minerals, so hopefully it doesn't destroy everything there, but you know. We'll pop over there, we'll beat up those guys, and then we'll see what happens next. But we'll save that for the next episode. Hopefully you'll join me then, and I hope you have a wonderful day.